Hey guys, the new Tower of Adversity reset is here, and today is going to be my first impressions of it, and I'll recommend you guys some ways of clearing it. I hope you're all enjoying 2.7 so far. Hopefully they add some more events soon, because I don't know what's going on with that. Alright, I'm very excited for this Tower reset, guys. This is obviously the best day of the month for me. I do think Tower of Adversity is the best endgame mode. So let's take a look at what we're dealing with. So the left side is weak to Havoc damage, and it looks like we're going up against Fusion enemies. So Fusion is not exactly recommended. And if you take a look at the buff itself, it actually looks pretty Camellia favored. Well, Camellia and Havoc Rover and stuff like that. Because when you cast your intro skill, you gain basic attack damage bonus, as well as some crit damage. Not much for Fulova here, but Fulova is of course still going to absolutely annihilate these floors. Yeah, so on screen now, I'm going to put my recommended characters for this side of the tower. And let's move on to the right side. So the right side is going to be all weak to Fusion, and if we read at the buff for these 4 floors, we have Fusion damage bonus is increased by 25%, healing damage with intro skill causes a blast that deals 1500% Fusion damage. Yeah, a full Fusion focused floor, and all you have to keep in mind is that you probably don't want to use Electro here, because the Mega Abomination is going to resist Electro. Regardless though, the side towers are usually lenient enough to where you can use whoever you want, even the element that is resisted, and you'll probably be fine. But yeah, let's take a look at the middle tower and what we're dealing with there. So it looks like the first 2 floors is going to be weak to Aero and Electro, while resisted by Havoc and Spectra. And just to double up, you're also facing Havoc enemies, so yeah, Havoc is definitely not recommended for this side. One interesting thing to note about this buff is the way it reads. So what it reads says, you gain a shield when you cast your Resonance Liberation, and this is really interesting, because afterwards it states, upon obtaining the shield, which to me signals that only the Resonance Liberation obtained shield will count for this buff. So for example, putting Yuno in her won't reproc this effect over and over, because it specifies that it needs to be the shield obtained by the Resonance Liberation. This could just be the way it reads, but that's what I would assume from what I'm seeing here. So what this buff is actually telling you is to use teams of 3 that can consistently use Resonance Liberation within 10 seconds of each other. And yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So it's basically going to be a little bit harder to clear these floors solo, because you can't take full advantage of the buff here. You can only get 1/3 of the buff. But yeah, on screen now you'll see my characters recommended for these first 2 floors. And for the last 2 floors, it does indeed look like we're getting some Galbrenna focused buffs. And once again, Havoc is getting targeted pretty hard here, because the Heron will be here, which means once again Havoc is resisted on this floor. On floor 4 we're facing Aero enemies, so Aero is definitely not recommended here. So Aero is not very recommended for this floor. And the buff is pretty tailored towards Galbrenna. You get Echo skill damage, you get heavy attack bonus, and you get crit damage. Any character that uses heavy attack damage bonus here is going to be just fine. You also have this upon inflicting negative statuses on an enemy. Aero Erosion will be pretty potent on this floor, and Spectral Thrustle will be pretty potent on this floor. So that's worth to think about. I'm a big fan of these buffs. I think it looks really nice. There's nothing that sticks out as like too targeted towards a specific unit. Everybody can take somewhat advantage of these buffs if you use your creativity a little bit. And I think that's really nice to see. So I'm a big fan of these. I'm very excited to play through it. Yeah, I'm very excited to get into this tower, guys. I'm going to go ahead and get this cleared now. And then once I'm done, I'll give you my final opinion of it.
生きてるんです。最初のご加護、光の結晶を恩寵をお与えください。悔い改めてください。浄化の日、これが最初に任せてね。この時そうもろいつまでもグズグズしてはいられない。時間の無駄だな。日向ぼっこの時間ですよ。最初にご加護答えてください。これが脆い。最初に任せてね。少し遊んでやる。
I've went ahead and cleared the whole tower, and I had a great time with it this time around. I think the buffs are fantastic, and it allowed me to use a variety of different teams, and to great success. Let's go ahead and collect our rewards, and then let's go through what teams I used for the different sides. And this is just to give you an example of what a potential clear could look like. So for the left side, I used Banyan for the first 3 floors. Banyan is a fantastic character for early floors in the tower. She always has been, and she always will be. And then I used my ultra budget Kalada and Sunwa team, S0, R0, Kalada, so on Static Mist. They did just fine, able to clear just fine. And then on the right side, I used Dungeon for the first 2 floors. I soloed with Looper on the 3rd floor, and then I soloed with Brand on the 4th floor. And now my Brand is mega cracked, he's S2. Brand is one of the only characters I have sequence notes for, and that's because I happened to pull a double of him when I was pulling for him. But yeah, I think an S0 R1 Brand would perfectly take on this floor as well. And then for the middle tower, this is where things get interesting. So for the first floor, I just soloed with Yuno. Yuno is such a good character, guys, that's not even funny. Like, she just obliterated this floor in 1 minute by herself. Like, it was not even close, right? Like, she just obliterated this floor. Then for floor 2, I once again soloed with Brand. I could have used a full monofusion team here if I wanted to, right? But yeah, Brand did just fine. And then for the 3rd floor, I used my mega budget Kalada team, S0, R0, Kalada. And yeah, this team did really well. They were able to clear just fine. I had 30 seconds to spare. It did take me playing well, I guess, but this tower is looking good, guys. Like, you can clear with a lot of stuff here. And I think I attribute that to this buff being so universal. Like, you can just get something out of it no matter who you're on. I chose Kalada because she only gets something out of the crit damage, right? But even then, it was like just a walk in the park. Like, I just had a good time with it. It's a nice, easy tower this time around. And then for the final floor, I did go ahead and use the team that's pretty much recommended her, because this negative statuses should include Spectral Frazzle. So yeah, Spectral Frazzle, heavy attack bonus for Zani. And this team cleared just fine as well. That's how I cleared Tower of Adversity this time around. Keep in mind that you can go back and look at what I recommend for each floor at the start of this video. Below, I'll also link to my tier list, so you can check out what characters I think are the strongest currently, to give you an overall idea of how strong the different DPSs are in Wuthering Waves. And on that note, we just hit 100 subscribers, guys. Very nice. I appreciate you guys following me, and I will keep improving every single video. That's my goal of this channel. One goal is to show you guys how you can clear the endgame. My other goal is to improve myself as a video creator every single video that I make. So yeah, if you want to see more of me and you want to join me on this journey, make sure to subscribe down below. And also feel free to tell me about what teams you used to clear this time around. I think it's so fun that you can use so many different teams. Let me know down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next video.